Welcome Fnatic's Reckless after that huge win over Samsung Blue. Let's take it back to the beginning first, because a lot of oohs and ahs when you guys let the Zed through his first pick, but that was a manageable risk to you guys?
Our plan going into bans and picks.
Oh, I think you're good.
Okay. Our plan going into bans and picks were really different from yesterday, because we felt our game yesterday against LMQ, we kind of lost the game already in bans and picks, even though we did a lot of mistakes. I can't admit we didn't. But still, like, having a good ban and pick phase actually gives you a lot more opportunities in the game as well. So we tried to think really hard this time, and we didn't really expect the Zed first pick though. We thought they would always save the mid lane pick for last pick, but they seemed to be really confident with picking Zed early, which gave us a really good lane swap, sort of like catchy combo with Elise and Thresh. And with that, I don't really have the peel that I usually want, so I decided that Lucian would be a really good pick here.
Yeah, you went in there with Lucian. You guys did good in the early game, but people always say versus Samsung Blue, you got to have that huge lead. So tell me what you concentrated on going into the mid and late game.
Once we actually got the lead, and I think it started with like a double kill top lane and got their tier 2 tower, we kind of tried to break down the game like step by step. So it was more like on how to follow the game flow without being picked off in between. So we were really trying hard to get a tower, and then in between getting next tower, getting the vision required to not get catched out. So we were really taking it slow, and I guess the game was a bit longer than it could have been. We could have finished a bit earlier, but then again, we were kind of desperate for a win here after yesterday, so it felt really good.
It must have. Talked me through facing Deft, because we know that you guys have built up quite a friendship in your time in Korea.
I mean, I didn't really talk to Deft in person before I came to Korea, and then he kind of approached me over the League client and added me and stuff. So after that, we talked daily, and then once we met here in person in Singapore, basically the first thing I did was give him my jacket, and then he gave him his to me, and then after that, it kind of just went on from there. So playing against him I was really nervous, actually. It was one of the few times when I've been so nervous. And once they lane swapped, the nervousness just let go, and I got a really good lane swap actually, and we're pretty far ahead of him once we got into the 2v2. So I felt like it was a bit unfair maybe, but in the end he played really well as well.
Talk to me a little bit more about being nervous. After All-Star, you told me, I want to shine on that big stage, and it hasn't happened yet. So how do you keep this going? You got a huge matchup versus OMG coming up later.
For me, before All-Stars, I didn't practice as much as I should have. Meanwhile, now I've been practicing as much as I can, even cutting down my sleep schedule a bit. But now, once we got to Singapore, I tried to catch up. So I feel really confident now, and I think we feel really confident, and we trust each other. So we were a bit dismotivated yesterday and kind of had to come back somehow, and facing Blue and beating them is a really good motivational thing for the team. So going from here, I think we have a really good chance to place top 2 in this group.
Yeah, you definitely answered on the Rift. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, now let's pass it back over to our guys at the desk.